Boy, everybody blew in the door tonight. Holy kielbasa. That's the fastest I've ever seen a crowd show up since they offered nickel beer at the stadium. And that goes to show you how frickin' old I am. 5-cent beer. Come on, tablet, boot up. Come on, Jesus. Slower than molasses in January. You remember nickel beer night at the stadium, Kathy? The Cleveland Police Department didn't have enough paddy wagons to haul the drunks away. All right, I'm going to ask you something, Kathy. Do you remember during one of the Indians games, it was raining, and they had the field covered with the tarp? And there was one guy that jumped out. He jumped up on top of the dugout. He jumped off the dugout. He took a long run and then did like a slip and slide across the wet tarp. It was on national TV. That's how slow of a news day it was. Well, the guy that did the slide was my brother-in-law. So you can see what kind of family I come from. Well, we got the tablet booted up. Let's do a start, and then we'll discuss the slip and slide a little more. Broadcasting live from beautiful downtown Cleveland. It's station WDWL TV, home of not one but 2 stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Hosted by me, the grumpy old man, and our show is brought to you by, oh, come on, gee, get with it. Look at the camera, you idiot. Grumpy Vulture Productions. No bow. You jerk. Damn bird. Yeah, that was my brother-in-law that did the old slip and slide, and he was lucky because they did not arrest him. He was turned over to, we'll just say, some very important people. And he suffered the consequences later. Yeah, they didn't arrest him, even though they had every right to. I think basically he would have preferred to be arrested because the shit that he went through. Yeah. Oh, he was so goddamn drunk he couldn't say his name. He had a lot of nickel beers that night. Yep. I denied it was my brother-in-law for the longest time. People would come up to me and go, "Wasn't that?" Nope. Don't know him. Well, it was a very interesting morning of phone calls. Starting with the first one. I go on the website for Earthlink. Earthlink. I call the number. It's a bad number. I redialed thinking I misdialed. It's a bad number. Number doesn't exist. It's in 4 different places on the website. Bad number. So Earthlink, eh, so as much as I hated it, I called AT&T. They still have not wired this part of the neighborhood for fiber optic cable. All they have is the deformed alien Easter egg, also known as Internet Air. So I asked for technical support because I'm thinking maybe in a year they have made improvements to the deformed ostrich egg so that I don't have to stick it in the corner of the living room. So technical support says, we'll send you a download link for the app. Oh boy. I said, it's still in my phone. He says, well, there's been some updates. So I update the app. I then, oh, it's over here. I am then on my cell phone with my headset, walking around the house, trying to find at least 50% signal. I walk over to the far corner of the living room, 100% signal. The guy from AT&T tech support says, that's where you want to put the modem. I says, okay. When you send me the deformed alien Easter egg, will you send me 25 feet of Cat 8 cable? Why would you need 25 feet of Cat 8 cable? I says, because my computer room studio is on the other side of the house. I said, I don't run wireless computers. I need to come from the modem to my Netgear switch box that feeds all of my computers. What? Guess you have a problem, sir. I says, well, same as last year. Never mind. So then I called T-Mobile. They have got the dumbest goddamn sales agents on earth. First of all, they barely speak English, and I can hear multiple women in the background. So it's not just the one I'm on the phone with. It's the whole answering crew. Every time I asked her a question, she had to put me on hold and call tech support. I said, why don't you just put me on with tech support? I can't do that. You're not a customer. I said, well, at this rate, I'm not going to be a customer. On their website, they offer 3 different packages, none of which give you an internet speed. And between the sales agent and tech support, neither one of them can give you a straight answer as to which package has the highest speed. I spent an hour slowly pulling hairs out of my beard because I don't have any on my head. They do not have fiber optic cable in the neighborhood. So it's over the air, wireless. So I said, all right, I'm thinking about this middle package here. Let's just concentrate on one. What is the internet speed? Because I am running 1 gig. It fluctuates. I said, what? Well, it fluctuates anywhere between 50 megagits and 500 megagits. I says, okay, let's try the top of the line package, which I really don't want to pay. I start asking her questions. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Tech support comes on and says, well, we could get, we could get maybe 800 gigabits. I said, your top of the line isn't even a gig? Well, we could get to a gig. Wonderful. What does it take to get to a gig? An extra $99 external antenna, which you pay for immediately. And you don't own it. And you don't get a refund if you send the equipment back. But you don't own it. I said, thank you. Click. What? I don't understand how they can sign up customers. I really don't understand how people could actually go through that bullshit and say, I'm going to go with T-Mobile. Not one of them spoke decent, clear English. And I could hear them in the background because after they would hang up, they would joke and giggle. And the first one was so hard to understand, I called back a second time. She was so. The call got disconnected, thank God. I called back a third time. The third one wasn't much better. And every time I asked the question, they don't have an answer. They must just open the front door and go, Miss, would you like a job? Here, put on this headset. Unfucking believable. And then she wanted my phone number because I told her, I says, well, I'm going to call a couple other internet providers. Can I have your phone number to call you back and see maybe if I can talk you into T-Mobile? I said, no, you can't have my phone number. If I decide to go with T-Mobile, I will call you. And as I hung up, I said, holy yucca-fuck, I ain't calling that outfit. I do not understand how they can sell internet. Evidently, it's airheads that go, can I have internet? Sure. Thank you. Evidently, that must be your friend. That must be your friend that bumped me up. This thing sounds a little loud. Let me make a little bit of an adjustment here. Am I changing color? Yes. I'll tell you what, I was so goddamn aggravated. And then I still had two more internet providers to call. I was wore out. I was literally wore out. And luckily, the final two, neither one of them had fiber in this area, and their over-the-air modems were only 500 gigabits. All right, Kathy. As a matter of fact, they flew these women right in from Asia. They must have stood at the airport. You want American job? Come here. Flight 37. Like I say, I could hear them all in the background because none of them were quiet. And then when I called AT&T, I remembered why I hated that fucking outfit. Luckily, I remembered the code word, representative. And then I asked to talk to, tech support, and they transfer me, and the call dropped on their end, not mine. I call back. I'm screaming, representative. Somebody comes on. They finally get me to tech support. And I spend about 45 minutes wasting my time because the deformed alien ostrich egg has not been improved in the years since I attempted to try it before. I'll tell you what, I was so goddamn mad. There was smoke pouring out of my ears. I finally just settled into the chair and said, I'm stuck with Spectrum at 500 gigabits. Hopefully I don't notice any problem with my internet. But I'm paying the same price for half of what I have right now. Because until the 19th, I'm at a gig. Comes the 19th, down to 500 gigabits. But this is basically the only internet provider that, first of all, that speaks English, and second of all, will actually explain things. They don't have to put you on hold and call tech support. I think the girl part of the time was Googling shit. What is 1 gig? Because a couple of times, boy, I could hear that keyboard going. Could not answer one. What? Well, they could answer one question. One. When I asked, is it wired or over the air? It over air. Thank you. Any other question? Please hold. Or I don't know how that company manages to hang on. Then all she kept saying is, but we're 5G. We're 5G. What? 5G strings? What? 5G. We're 5G. Maybe that was her name, 5G. Me, 5G. Oh. We're 5G. That's the only thing she had memorized. We're 5G. Anybody in their right mind that signs up for T-Mobile Internet has got the IQ of a thumbtack. Because they couldn't answer questions. One. Pardon me. One. All of these internet providers today, except for Spectrum, just ship you the equipment and you install it yourself with an app. It's all 90% over the air. Spectrum will actually come out and wire, like I'm wired. I have a wire running across the street, in the basement, junction box, right here, modem, Wi-Fi, right there. Everything today is you install it yourself and it's over the air. And nobody, and I mean AT&T and T-Mobile, can guarantee you a constant, steady feed. Because I talk to tech support for both companies. You might be at 200 gigabits, then it might go up to 450, then it might drop to 150. That's another reason I'm just biting the bullet and staying with Spectrum. I know if I would do a speed test right now, I would have my high speed right now, and if I did it at 2 in the morning, because I speed test weekly to make sure I'm getting what I'm paying for. But nobody can guarantee you a strong, constant signal. Because I even said, and the girl, she didn't understand it. I said, so that means if the wind blows, I could be losing signal? Oh, we have nothing to do with wind. I said, oh, evidently you must be passing wind then. I don't I don't know how the company stays in business. Of course, they're combined with Sprint. And I'll tell you what, back in the day, Sprint was the worst cell phone service on earth. And then T-Mobile bought them. I had Sprint for about 2.5 months. If I wanted to make a call from my apartment, I had to step out on the back deck because I could not get a signal anywhere inside my apartment. And they didn't believe me. So I said, fine. I'm in the Sprint store because they had one in Lakewood. I says to the guy, young kid, what time do you get off? He said, well, 6 o'clock. I said, fine. Here's my address. I'm only about 5 blocks away. Come to my apartment and try to make a phone call. And believe it or not, he showed up. And I said, try any room. And I said, now step out on the back deck. Ooh, 100% signal. I said, you think I'm going to fucking do that in the middle of January when it's 22 degrees outside? Now, tomorrow, I will be at the store. Cancel my contract, and I'll give you your phone back. And then T-Mobile buys them. I don't know anybody that has T-Mobile for phone service. I don't know anybody. My friends have AT&T or Consumer or Verizon. And I even said to my buddy's wife when I said, you walk through your development every day and you talk to your neighbors, right? She goes, yeah. I said, ask who they have for a cell phone provider. And out of 50 houses, 2 had Sprint. And nobody had T-Mobile. So the 19th, we'll see. I hope I do not notice a loss in my signal. I'm thinking at 500 gigabytes that I'll be okay. But it's a shame that I can't afford to stay at 1 gig. But I am not paying that extra money. Not at all. And it's a damn shame that every year you got to play the internet provider round robin to get a deal, knowing at the end of the year they're going to stick it in your ass. And I should have planned ahead. Well, I got till the 19th, but I think I'm about 90% sure I'm going to stay where I'm at. Even though what I'm paying now for 1 gig, I will be paying for half. Talk about a racket. Matter of fact, the guy from Spectrum, he admitted it. He goes, yeah. He says every single internet provider and phone provider, they hook you with that introductory package. Because it's money. Every person they sign up, they get government money. And I'll tell you, the packages that T-Mobile had were very interesting because they agree to a 5-year price lock. It's right in the fine print. Your internet bill is guaranteed for 5 years. That's the only thing that impressed me. Because I could sit back for 5 years and go, well, I don't have to worry about switching internet. Although, I'll tell you what, this mic sounds a little odd. I don't know what the hell's going on with it. Come on. Maybe it's just my headset. I don't know. Come on. Talk to me. I can't hear you. There we go. At least Spectrum admitted it. I'll give him that. The guy said, yep, we hook you in, but they're sneaky because they think you are going to forget your contract date. And like with me, my contract is up on the 19th. So come February 19th, I open my bill and go, holy fuck! And then it dawns on you. Your contract expired last month, idiot. Now, I am sure if I would open that bill in February and it be $85 in tax, like $90, and I called to quit, they would have made an adjustment to keep me. I would guarantee it. They would say, "Oh, all right, you're paying 60. We'll give you that 1 gig for 70." Then maybe I would have stayed and said, "Okay, keep me at 1 gig." A piece of fuzz. Because they only jump up and down when you threaten to leave. And then in the fine print with T-Mobile, in order to get that, what the hell was it called? Internet amplified. One was internet, like I'll say it. The $50 package was internet ready. I'll say. Then the one I was looking at was internet amplified, and then the third one was internet like whole house or something. And you got Hulu, and you got Paramount Plus, and a bunch of other shit that, in order to get the $60 price break, you have to give them a phone. Everybody, and AT&T was the same way. In order to get the bargain, you have to give them a phone. I just ordered my SIM card from Consumer. I'm not giving nobody this phone again. AT&T, got to give them a phone. T-Mobile, got to give them a phone. Same thing with Spectrum. They have the same package that I'm on right now that I can't get because I've already had the package, and you have to give them a phone because they get money on both ends. They get the money on the internet sale, and they get the money on the phone line sale. Because I told AT&T, I don't want your phone service. Yeah, but you are getting a discount. I don't want your phone service. And then, how about landline? No, I don't want landline. They want you to take a phone line. Oh, the girl from AT&T, she was pushing that landline. Well, you got the landline is not like Spectrum or T-Mobile. It's not internet based. So if the power goes out, you have a phone. I don't want a phone. I have 2 phones the way it is. I don't want 3. I played that route before. And they play it up like you're getting a deal. You get the unlimited talk, text, and data for free for 1 year. It's built into the internet price. Don't give me that shit. I'm getting it for free. Nobody gets anything for free today. Unless you're at some homeless shelter. Then you're going to get a free meal. That girl from AT&T, oh. Well, if you don't want to go with the cellular service, how about a landline? I don't want a landline. Yeah, but our landline isn't internet based. I don't want a landline. If your power goes out, you'll have a phone. I don't want a landline. Think of the convenience. I don't want a landline. Because basically, I would have to go out and buy phone. Because the phone that I bought to go with the internet landline with Spectrum will not work on AT&T's landline. I don't want to buy a phone. But boy, push it. And then T-Mobile. They're, you know, first of all, they were pushing the external antenna for $100 that I don't own. It's an antenna, goes outside, guarantees your signal, $100 up front. I would, if I'd have said yes to their internet, I'd had to pay them today, $100. Then they put the hard sell on the battery backup service. In case your power goes out, we have a battery backup service that would keep you online so that you don't lose your streaming TV program and you can surf the internet for an additional $20 a month. And you don't own it. You could very easily start with a $60 package and work yourself up to $125 in the blink of an eye. Because then they want to add on the streaming programs. Oh, you can get Paramount Plus, you can get Hulu, you can get Netflix. I don't want all that. And I feel sorry for people that aren't really savvy that go, oh, I think I'd like to have Paramount Plus and Hulu and Netflix. Put it on. Yeah, I'll take it. Then they get their bill. $162. What the fuck? Because they don't like quoting you prices. You talk about getting a tap dance. What's my total bill going to be monthly? Because there's all them government fees and taxes and well, it's going to be around. No, I don't want around. I want to the penny. Well, you'll see when you get your first bill. I don't want a surprise when I open the envelope. I want to know now. Well, yeah, we really can't calculate that. Sorry. Eh. It was an education. It's amazing how much it's changed in a year. But hardwired service is slowly going the way of the dinosaur. Everything is over the air. Here's your equipment. Hook it up yourself. And don't forget to download the app. You're paying all that money and you have to install it yourself. I guess maybe if I wanted fiber optic, they'd send a truck out with a bale of wire and a man lift and yeah, wire it yourself. And don't fuck up our truck. Playing with the man lift. Oh, yeah, when the CEO pulls up in his new Rolls Royce Silver Wraith, and they walk into that fillet mignon dinner, I told you about the drug company seminars when they would fly doctors to the Bahamas for a medical seminar, all expenses paid. I can guarantee out of a room for 500, maybe there were 10 doctors actually attending the seminar going, oh, I'm learning something today. No, the rest of them were laying on the beach sucking up margaritas. Another one, please. If it wasn't so goddamn nerve wracking, I might have enjoyed it. But it's getting to the point you have to learn how to speak a different language. Because you sure as hell can't understand the sales force. Although AT&T did have two people that were American. But when that girl answered from T-Mobile, I was like, oh, God, I'm in trouble. And her name was Ellen. Yeah, right. Hello, my name Ellen. Try again. And then what pisses me off, they constantly mispronounced my last name. They would mispronounce it, I would correct them. I no sooner corrected them, they mispronounced it again. That is plain ignorance. If you can't pronounce a possible prospective customer by his name, you can't pronounce his name, that's an insult. Especially when I corrected her 5 times. I really wanted to say, forget it, just call me Grumpy. She'd have mispronounced that. Gumpy? Gumby? Gumby? Mr. Gumby? The only good thing, it took my mind off my toe for 2.5 hours. until I went to get up. I was like, oh, ow, ow, ow. Toe. I laid in bed watching TV, looking at my feet, going, man, it's going to be strange, minus a part of a digit. Kept me awake quite a bit of the night, even with the massage. Oh, he went berserk again last night. All 4 feet. I was like, calm down already. You know, it goes to show you they don't listen. Now, my last name is not that hard to pronounce. The major problem that throws everybody off is the O. I tell them, write it down without the O. Don't try to pronounce with the O. Write it down. Don't put the O in. Look at it and then pronounce it. And they still fuck up. I could imagine how bad they would fuck it up if it was my real name from Hungary. They'd still be trying to figure. But see, the O throws everybody off. And I keep telling people, pronounce it without the O. Write it down, erase the O, and pronounce it. I mean, it's not that hard. Really. It's not like I have a last name with 47, letters and 22 of them are consonants. But the O throws them off. And I have to keep telling them, write it down. Pencil. Write it pencil. Erase the O. Now pronounce it. You're putting the O in. Take the O out. Finally, I told her, use my first name. And she fucked that up. My first name has 4 letters. Not that hard. I even said to her, here, write it down. Now, do it this way. Put a D, okay? Space ALE. Got it? What do you got? Dell. Not Dell. Try it again. Doll. Forget it. Call me Mister. It was utterly ridiculous. I just, and you know, you got some of these Chinese names, they start with an X. Xaoping. Xiaoping. How do you get Xiao out of X? And they can't pronounce a 4-letter name properly. And she kept insisting on murdering my last name. I finally said, Mister. Just call me Mister. I really wanted to tell her how I felt. I really wanted to tell her I felt totally insulted. As a matter of fact, I did in the survey because they get this, they emailed me a survey, which they shouldn't have done because I blistered them in that survey. I called them uneducated idiots. Now, whether they read the surveys, I don't know. Although if they read it around 1:30 this morning, there will be a bunch of people with torches and pitchforks on my front lawn. Oh, Kathy, 100% right. Because they really don't take time to learn proper English. They're all taught basically gutter slang English. But when you physically tell them the proper way to pronounce your name, and you no sooner slowly tell them, and then they murder it. I'm like, are you not listening? Tell all the girls in the back to quit yip yapping and telling jokes so that you can hear what I'm saying. Oh, it was so goddamn noisy. I even said to her, can you move to another room? I'll turn up my mic. That ain't doing no good. Yeah, she turns up the mic and it's twice as loud. And Ron, if you're getting 2 gig for $50, when you move, tell them to guarantee that you will be getting 2 gig for $50 in your new house, because they couldn't guarantee me 1 gig. Maybe 700. Maybe. That's on a sunny day with no wind. Because they could, between T-Mobile and AT&T, they could not guarantee, if I put the modem right here on the shelf where my existing modem and Wi-Fi unit are, that I would get a signal. Couldn't guarantee it. T-Mobile couldn't even guarantee it with the external antenna that I had to buy that I didn't own. But see, I'm an oddball case, because nowadays everything is wireless. People walk out with their laptop, wireless computer, wireless laptop, wireless tablet. Not grumpy. Matter of fact, the guy, I'll tell you how bad. When I tried to explain to the tech support guy at T-Mobile how my system is set up, it didn't comprehend. And I literally told him, "You have a blank sheet of paper?" "Yeah." I said, "Draw a modem." "Got it?" Draw a square. Now, put in an RJ plug on the modem. You know what that is? Yeah. Now, draw another square, and on top of the square, draw outlets for 8 RJ plugs. Got it? Now, on the bottom of that square, take the RJ wire from the modem and plug it in to the bottom of that other square. Got it? Yeah. Now, draw a couple of other squares and put C for computer. Got it? Yeah. Now, from the top of that box, with the 8 RJ plugs, draw a line to each computer to the RJ plug on the computer. Got it? Yeah. Now look at it. That is a wired computer setup. Everything runs off the modem. Still didn't understand it. How is this guy an IT tech support guy when he couldn't understand running a cable off the modem to a Netgear split box, and cables coming out of the top of the Netgear split box going to computers that still have RJ plugs and laptops? Then he asked me, "Why do you do that?" Because I don't trust over the air. I don't trust wireless. Then he asked me, do you have one on your TV? Yes. My TV is plugged into my Netgear splitter. Even though my TV is wireless. Didn't understand. Why do you do it that way? That's what he kept asking me. Why do you do it that way? Aren't your computers wireless? Yeah. Your TV wireless? Yeah. Your laptop's wireless? Yeah. Then why are you using cables? Because I don't trust wireless. Then he told me, you need to come into the new century. Oh, if I could have reached through my cell phone, I'd have grabbed him by the balls and pulled him right up through his neck. I need to come into the new century. That's why when you buy a brand new computer, it still has an RJ plug on the back of it. Because people like me still like this, the mind easing safety of 100% signal at all times. Because I don't like seeing little buffering circles. Good thing that I didn't have a doctor's appointment this afternoon because I'd have blown the blood pressure meter right off the stand. When I'll tell you what, when I got up the phone with T-Mobile, I sat here shaking my head going, how do they hire IT people if they do not understand IT? Take a look at every computer in a hospital. Every exam room you go into, look at the computer. There's an RJ cable plugged into the wall. Even though, and I always like to look at the little small form factor computers on the back of the monitors, they're set up for wireless. They don't trust it either. Every computer's plugged in. Matter of fact, when I was in the podiatrist's office, he's like, what are you looking at? Your small form factor computer. I never heard of that one. I can't remember the make of it. It started with a W. I never heard of that company. But they're probably strictly commercial computers. But it was mounted right on the back of the monitor. What an experience. I'm still sitting here wondering how T-Mobile can sign up customers. How many people calling that office take their internet service? Because it's obvious anybody that is signing up has no idea what a megabyte is or a gigabyte. They're like, can I watch Hulu? Yes. Okay, sign me up. When I asked the first girl what speed the packages were, she rattled off a shitload of numbers, and I said, that don't make any sense to me. Is it 500 meg, 700 meg, a gig? Hold on. I spent more time on hold while she called for answers or Googled it. What is a megabyte? Then to find out basically they could guarantee me at least 300. You can't, even on the top package, you can't guarantee me a gig? No. But we're 5G. The hell's that got to do with it? If you can't guarantee me a gig, what the hell do I care if it's 3G, 4G, 6G? And 6G is right around the corner. I was on a computer website this morning. By the end of the year, they'll be introducing 6G. So what the hell do I care? We're 5G. I bet you don't even understand what the hell 5G is. All that stands for is fifth generation. It don't mean anything else. It's fifth generation. You had 1G, then they had the second generation and the third and the fourth. That's all it means. Fifth generation. People think it stands for, gig. Oh, it's 5 gig. Oh, no. It's just fifth generation internet. That's all it is. But boy, she was proud of it. We're 5G. Every 30 seconds, we're 5G. I really wanted to say, is that 5G strings? Hang on, I have to Google that. Oh, you make funny. Uh, I'll tell you what, Ron, I was really hopped up about T-Mobile this morning. When I opened that website, went, oh. Then I'm reading, and I'm like, There ain't no speed. All they were doing is explaining the modem. No speed. And they couldn't even tell me. That's the sad thing. When you've got a company as huge as T-Mobile and your sales staff can't answer a question because they themselves don't understand. That is sad. I really hope they read my review because I put at the bottom, feel free to call me. I really hope they read it and call me because I will give them an earful. I don't think it will improve anything, but I'll give them an earful. Did you go out and get some pimento cheese spread? Are you going to make them a la deluxe? Although I'm sure it might not be that easy to find around the country. Although I would think every large supermarket chain would carry it. Oh, Lynxburg, you didn't go out and get any pimento cheese spread? Although I'll tell you, the pimento cheese spread that I got from Save-A-Lot blows away the pimento cheese spread I got from Mark's. I have to go back to Save-A-Lot and buy a couple more. The one I got from Mark's actually tasted bland compared to the one I got from Save-A-Lot. Oh my God. That stuff is kick ass. Matter of fact, tomorrow I'll let you know what brand it is so you can look for it in your store. Because I'll tell you what, I was so aggravated, I didn't even feel like going up and getting potatoes today. And then, talk about perfect. Because when I got off the phone, I was wound tighter than a Swiss watch. And I had to run up and get cigarettes. So I pull in the parking lot, and there's this brand new Beamer backed in the handicap space with no placard. So I went in the store and I said, who owns the Beamer out front? And this idiot, it's mine. I said, are you handicapped? No. Why would you ask such a question? I said, because you're parked in the handicapped space. I didn't notice. I said, really? When you're done with your purchase, can we walk out to your car? Yeah. So we walked out to his car. And I pointed to the trunk and I went, is that a backup camera? Why, yes. I'm not familiar with these brand new cars. Mine's 25 years old. Let me ask a question. Go right ahead. When you put it in reverse, does that camera come on the dash? Oh, every single time. Good. Do you look at it? Well, yeah. I said, it's obvious you fucking didn't look at it because there's a handicapped parking space with a symbol almost the size of the parking spot that you didn't see? No. I said, look under your fucking car. Oh, I didn't notice. I said, you didn't see that in your backup camera when you were backing in the space? No, I wasn't paying attention. I said, you know what I do with people like you? No. I reached in my pocket and I pulled out a pair of pliers. I said, see these? Yeah. What are they? They're pliers. Bingo, Sherlock. You know what I do with these pliers? No. I pull your valve stems out of your rims to kind of get you to wake up that you're parked illegally. You wouldn't do that, would you? I said, you want me to bend down? Now get in your goddamn car and get the fuck out of here. So I go in the store and the two Indian brothers are laughing their ass off because Grumpy's going berserk. And I said, you need a sign on the wall. Handicap parking. I'm going to buy you one. Oh, you no need. I said, I'm going to buy you one. And when I get it, if you want, I'll mount it. Oh, no. I says, all right, I'm going to order it. When I get it, I want you to put it up on the wall in front of this parking space. Okay. I ordered it. Wait till it gets here. You're going to fucking love it. And I hope they put it up. $14.95 and free shipping. Wait till it gets here. It's a typical grumpy sign. But it is for handicap parking. It'll make a point. I hope they ship it right away. Where's it coming from? Where's my note? Peoria, Illinois. It shouldn't take that long to get here. And when it gets here, I will show everybody. I can't wait. I can't wait to see it on the building. It'll definitely get people's attention. Enough said until the sign gets here. I can see Kathy's wheels turning, going, oh, this is going to be a good one. I think Kathy knows me well enough. She can almost imagine what this sign's going to look like. I was going down the list of signs on eBay and I went, holy shit, this can't be for real. I go down, 8x12, aluminum, painted. I was like, it's a real sign. Order $14.95 plus tax, free shipping. And if some idiot parks in that space, I'm going to take pictures of their car, making sure I get their license number, and I'm going to post it on the internet. Every vehicle that parks in that spot without a handicap placard will go up on my Facebook page for the world to see. Because I'm going to start carrying my DSLR Yashica camera. Maybe the Nikon, one or the other. And then I will just start posting them on my Facebook page. If I could figure out the proper way to do a short, I'd video it and put a short up on my YouTube channel. Kathy, you're going to love it. You are going to love this sign. It has my name written all over it. It's almost as if I ordered it this way. I couldn't believe, I thought maybe it was a photo, you know. I go down, scroll, 8x12, aluminum, painted. Oh, it's a real sign. Order. It'll be my gift to my Indian buddies. They'll get a kick out of it too. I just hope they immediately put it up. Oh, I'm sitting and my toe is flat on the floor. I wish he wouldn't have sanded that callus off. He pulled out the old Dremel tool, and I was like, what are you going to do? He said, I'm going to buff this callus. He made it worse. Although it won't take that long to build it back up. Next month, I think the 9th of February, if I'm not mistaken, I have a consult with my primary care and Mr. Whack himself. Looks like there's going to be a lot of consultations with Mr. Whack. I got the email this afternoon. Consultation with. I was like, oh boy. I'm waiting for the consultation with the shrink. Consultation with shrink and Mr. Whack. In his picture book. Oh. Did you have to take a picture of the foot and the toe stretched away from it? Please. Oh. I still cringe. I don't know if I cringe more at the thought of losing part of the toe or the thought that he can whack that son of a bitch off in an hour. If they wheel me in the operating room and I see a steel chainsaw sitting in the corner, I'm going to say, nope, take me out. Grab that toe. Got it. Put it in this jar. Blink. Little alcohol. Now wave this in front of Grumpy's face as he comes out of anesthetic. Oh, no. Be nice if they'd let me keep it. I'll tell him, hey, when I go, I want to take all my body parts with me. Can you put it in the jar? Can I take it home? Maybe gift wrap it? Maybe put it in the middle of a box of chocolates? The jar, not the toe. My toe will probably end up in a landfill somewhere. See some guy poking around the landfill. Hey, look, a toe. Yeah, I hope we don't find the rest of the body here. Here, Charlie, catch. Oh, what is that? Oh, it's a toe. Oh, you're sick. I don't think they let you keep body parts. You get that bullshit, we send it off for study. Who's going to study a half a toe? Yeah, looks like half a toe. Gee, they even buffed the nail out. I'll put a little polish on it. Put it in a dehydrator, then make a necklace out of it. What kind of necklace you got there, Grumpy? Oh, it's my toe. You sick bastard. I actually went on Amazon and looked at toe caps. You can buy them on Amazon. Goddamn Jeff Bezos sells everything. Yeah, that would be interesting. Hey, Doc, can I send that toe to Cincinnati College of Mortuary Science? Why would you want to send it there? Because when I arrive there, I'd like to be whole. Yeah, but how many years are they going to keep my toe on a shelf until the rest of me arrives? I could see I arrive there and one of the students go, wait a minute, let me drill this. Put a pin in, drill the toe. There. He's back together again. What a sick thought. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I could see calling down to Cincinnati College of Mortuary Science. Hey, you know that donation form that I sent in? Why, yes, Mr. Grumpy. Well, you're not going to get me, but they're going to send my toe. They're going to do what? They're going to send my toe. You'll get the rest of me later on. Well, how much later? Well, I don't know. Can't you keep my toe on ice? That way, when I get there, you can put me back together. You know, a pin, drill a couple of holes, play pickleball with it. Be my look the students to do. Hey, look, we can. Let's go play pickleball. Whack, whack, whack. Not the same, but it works. See a toe flying through the air. Whack, whack. Call it toe ball. Yeah, I don't think they do that. I can see the students take the sheet off. Hey, look, he's missing part of his toe. Hey, you sent us a defective body. It's not 100% here. Professor, look. Oh, yeah. I wonder where the toe is. They didn't send it. I know. Go on Amazon and order a toe cap. Yeah, call them and say, hey, can I make a deposit? What are you sending? Right toe, but only half. You're sending us half a toe? Well, yeah, you'll get the rest later. Don't be so greedy. You can embalm it. Maybe you got a small student. You could work on a small toe. Click. Hello. Hello. Bastards. I told Mary Ann I was making all kinds of jokes, and she said, "Boy, you got a sick sense of humor." I said, "Well, you got to keep your humor. If not, you'll go bonkers." Toe ball. Go out for a pass. Got it. Now run for a touchdown. But don't spike the toe. It's liable to go up in the stands. Can I dance with it? Yeah. Kind of adds a new spin to Tomaine. What do you got? Tomaine. Is that anything like lo mein? Yeah, but it's a toe. Tomaine. Tomaine poisoning. That's if you chew on the toe. You get tomaine poisoning. Somebody put it on the end of a pencil right over the eraser. Look what I got. Really? Well, February 9th in my consultation, I think I'm going to drive my primary care doctor into insanity. And Mr. Whack. I'll tell him, hey, a friend of mine Googled it, said I can take the toe home. Write that down on the chart. Patient wants toe. I could put it up on the mantle next to socks. My previous poor tuxedo kitty. No, he's got to stay on my desk. He's right there, that little black box. Eye socks. Yeah, my buddy thinks I'm sick. He come over one day, goes, "What's that little black box? Is that for pencils?" I said, "No, that's socks." What do you mean it's socks? I opened the lid and he went, "Oh, you're a sick bastard." Well, yeah, his ashes are right there. It's my buddy, my previous buddy. I was thinking the other day, comparing the two, boots and socks. Socks, he didn't do a massage. He had a neat personality, but he didn't do a massage. Boots, he's still a bit of a bastard, but I get a massage every night. So I guess it's a 50-50 trade off. But yeah, old Soxy is right there in the corner of my console with me all the time. Matter of fact, I found the urn that they sent. I can't do that to Soxy. He's been in that box too long. I can't although I don't really like the urn anyway. Oh yeah, Kathy, a friend of mine, she's got, oh my God. I think six or seven German shepherds that go back years. Every German shepherd she ever had and had to put down or it died, she's got the ashes. They're stacked on the mantle in her living room. They go from one end to the other. That's Frisky, and that's so and so, and that's Sheba, and all right, Ann. You don't have to name them all. I get the point. Yeah, they're all lined up. That was my first German Shepherd. Oh, you ought to see the one she got now. Oh my God. Talk about. Usually German Shepherds are pretty intelligent. Not Bubba. Bubba has got to be the dumbest German Shepherd I've ever seen. Big old dummy. She named him right when she called him Bubba. He is as a puppy, he looked like a Bubba. What a dummy. Reminds me of a retriever. God, golden retrievers. Oh, there's another dumb dog. Well, people, I think it's about that time. Let me find my stylus, find our music. Come on, where is it? There it is. All right, everybody. Thanks for being here. Hanging out with the sick bastard. We will meet again tomorrow night, right here, WDWL TV, the home of not one but two stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Everyone have a wonderful rest of your evening. Take care. And we will be here tomorrow night. See ya. Oh, this OBS. Take two.